So now we're going to focus more on the concept of qi in traditional Chinese medicine because that's what we are here for. So first we have to understand that there is two main kind of energies in traditional Chinese medicine: pre-heaven and post-heaven. So pre-heaven energy would be considered any energy that we receive before our birth. In some tradition, it comes directly from the sky and divinities, etc. But the most commonly accepted is that it's an energy that actually comes from the parents, the lineage. So this energy is actually influenced first by the parents and by the behavior of the parents, their habits, the ways they've been themselves using their energy and living their life, and of course their genetics. So pre-heaven energy is a kind of energy that, as I said, we receive. But the most important is that we receive a certain quantity before birth, and that quantity is never going to go up. We can only use it little by little and let it gradually, use it gradually, and so it's going to decline gradually, and that's a big part of the aging process. Okay, and so post-heaven qi is all the energy that we're going to gather and receive after our birth, which means all the energy that we can gather from food and from the environment by breathing. So basically, as I said, pre-heaven is going to be like this capital of energy that we have from the beginning and that we're going to gradually use and deplete. But thanks to the absorption of food, water, and energy, we're gonna supply that energy and try to use as much as possible this post-heaven energy. And so that's the usage of that post-heaven energy that can allow us to live a long and prosperous life. So all this energy flowing in the body, we'll see later that there is a different kind of energy for different kind of processes and different kind of functions. A few of those functions would be, for example, activation. Okay, I'll let you translate that. So yeah, activation of different functions, which means a well-balanced qi in a well-balanced organism. Qi is going to activate different functions at different times. For example, a good way of seeing it is that digestion, for example, is not something that is happening all the time, but only when you are actually absorbing food. For example, when you're absorbing food, then a certain kind of qi will activate the digestion and will activate the spleen and stomach to actually transform those elements. And of course, the counterpart of that activation principle is the control system, which means qi is also gonna maybe we can say deactivate some functions at some times, or just make sure that they are functioning at their optimal level. Not too much, so it would like burn and deplete the reserve of energy, but enough that the body can function properly. Another function of qi would be heating or warming the body. We've all felt when we're a little tired and depleted, then it's much harder to actually warm ourselves up, especially for you that are living in a really cold country. So yeah, like a healthy and strong qi will actually warm up the body and help the body to stay at the right temperature for all the other activities, like biochemical activities of the body to work properly. And of course, if we've got like energy in our bodies, there is also energy outside of the body. And that means that the body will have to fight against different energies that are contradicting its own principles and goes against its own function. So our own chi, the chi of the human, is also able to fight against that outside energy. And so one of the main functions of the energy too is going to be defense of the organism. And so a part of this defense mechanism is first not letting this what Chinese call xie qi. So we could translate it as like perverted qi or like well just um, pathologic qi. And another kind of defense would be to be able to expel the xie qi that actually already got inside the body. Qi is also responsible for like basically holding ourselves together. So it has a function of retention and regulation, meaning that any part of our body would naturally tend to decay and lose its shape. But our natural qi is actually going to hold our form together by, for example, just maintaining the blood into the vessels or keeping the organs like up in the abdomen and not letting them like fall down. So for example, you were laughing, but one of the main problems if this kind of energy is not strong enough is like prolapses. Like some organs can actually like fall from their original places, and it can cause a lot of problems. And this process of retention will also, for example, like hold the sweat inside. And you basically like felt sometimes when you like become kind of like emotional and you've got like sweating that is happening profusely and immediately you don't really know why. It's just because this particular kind of chi will be sensitive to emotions. And for example, some emotions will activate the opening of the pores and let the sweat out. So this she will not be able to retain the sweat anymore. And of course, there is the function of transformation. Transformation is one of the main principles of both Chinese medicine and Chinese philosophy. Every fact, everything in Chinese philosophy or Chinese medicine is not actually considered as one thing that is in one state, but more seen as which transformation is happening at what time.